is that we have no unaccounted for rockets at this time. We are certain that this downed aircraft was not from space.
We'll take questions now. Please wait for the microphone. Identify yourself and state your affiliation.
Astronomy Now magazine. So is it your position that this is just an Earth-based airplane? And also, why is the Pentagon saying that the craft is from space when you're saying it isn't?
The Pentagon has access to the same radar data that we have. It clearly shows that there was not a craft in orbit.
Well, just for clarity, just finally to clarify, the Pentagon says that the craft is not capable of flight, that it's not aerodynamically sound. They're saying it's a space capsule.
Yeah, you'd have to ask the Pentagon for clarification on that. Our position is that there is no orbital data showing that that would be the case.
Has anyone from NASA actually been to the crash site to look at the pod?
It's my understanding that this is a downed aircraft and doesn't rise to any concern for NASA.
I have a question about the observatories. David Brown, USA Times. Are you aware that the observatories are reporting at this hour that they've spotted objects headed in from Mars?
I'm not aware of that, no.
Thank you. That's all for today. Our next briefing will be tomorrow at 1 p.m. with an update on NASA's Terra Orbiter. Thank you.
Okay, that's very bizarre. NASA stating there that the capsule that landed is not from space, even though at this point the president says it is, and even the Pentagon has admitted that it is probably from outer space based on the engine technology that they have found on the scene. Now, we have some breaking news now, and this is from a source inside the FBI, that Bill Gates has escaped. He was in the hospital this morning. Of course, he was shot at the speech this morning. He was taken to the hospital. He underwent surgery, and now, unexpectedly, he has escaped from the hospital. So we turn now to an FBI agent we have on the phone, and we can't give your name because you want to remain anonymous, but thanks for joining us.
It's no problem.
Okay, explain what all this is about.
Well, I was informed at about 12 o'clock this afternoon that Bill Gates was in surgery at the Claiborne Hospital, and somehow he was able to slip out of the area and actually leave in a car.
Okay, so he was under guard.
Yes, he has been placed under guard for his own protection. And since we still haven't captured the shooter, he's still at risk, obviously for future attempts to take his life. So we wanted to remain cautious and keep him under guard.
Okay, so what does all this mean? Where is he headed?
Well, this is where it gets strange. He was seen by some of our operatives entering an aircraft just outside of the Seattle area, and he is thought now to be in the air.
Wow.
Maybe Bill Gates is an alien.
Before this capsule crashed, right?
Yes, this happened about noon, so it was before
Any word on his health?
Well, as far as we know, he went through his surgery and he's conscious and he should be alert. So.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
Operative from the FBI, they're telling us that Bill Gates has escaped from the hospital and was seen flying away in some sort of aircraft about 12 o'clock, just after 12 o'clock this afternoon. She didn't say what time zone it was. I'm assuming Washington time, Pacific time zone. Following a developing story that has just broke out. We have now Bill James, who is stationed at the hospital there, and he has now obtained a copy of the speech that was on the podium. Is that right, Bill?
Yes, Jim. This is a photocopy, and I'm assured by my source that it is the actual speech. These are things that Bill Gates never actually said because he was stopped by gunfire. On page 3, he says, quote, "It's now time for the two worlds to be reunited as one solar presence." He continues later.
Okay, Bill, does it say anything about him being connected with aliens or anything like that?
Well, I didn't have much time to read through the entire speech. Most of it's about the new trinary computer code that Microsoft was going to announce. But what stands out the most are these statements. Now is not the time for political positioning, corporate indulgence, or social ignorance. We must leap forward together and embrace our past, strengthening the future.
Okay. Thank you, Bill. We'll keep in touch with you. And now Marge says she has something that might go along with this.
Thank you, Jim. This just came over the collected press. The Microsoft team has now left Melbourne, Australia on military airlift.
Oh, that's good.
And they are on their way to Antarctica to decode that computer that was found earlier this morning.
Now, this is that ancient computer lab down there.
Yes, they're leaving Melbourne, Australia right now, and we have a correspondent. In fact, we have a report from him right now.
Okay.
And this is Bob Fuss.
Before today, no one cared about the snow-covered wasteland of Antarctica, but suddenly it's the new technology hotspot. Surviving the blistering cold winds, the military aircraft brought myself and 15 technicians, engineers and programmers from Microsoft to Research Station 3. While I stayed behind to relay information to you, the tech team has just left for its journey down the long corridor cut through the ice to the ancient cabin. And Jim, included in the ruins are several data storage devices, power supply, a computer console with working visual display. I'll certainly be interested in finding out how this equipment works and how it's remained intact for so long. They also hope to translate the foreign markings carved into the walls. One symbol of significance depicts 3 circles resembling the planets Earth, Venus and Mars. These ancient secrets preserved under the permafrost of the Antarctic. Bob Fuss, Station 3, Antarctica.
Thank you, Bob, risking his life down at the South Pole to give us this information about this computer lab down there. Just absolutely amazing that this stuff has been down there for 10,000 years and still works. We've been following the Bill Gates story. He's escaped from the hospital. We don't know where he went. He was seen entering an aircraft. So we're gonna go now. Oh, okay. I'm told now that a couple of people have just been arrested near the crash site for